right, ready for our first case. Please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
My name is Ben Scott. Good morning. My number is 94592.
All right, Ben, you heard the introduction. We'll have a parole interview, ask some questions. You can respond. At the end, you can make a statement. We'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We have Mr. Randy Meyer here who will speak at the appropriate time, and Daryl Miles who will speak at the appropriate time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ben Scott, DOC number 94592, sixth class offender. Parole eligibility date 1/30/2024. Good time 3/4/2043. Full term 1/30/2044. A 40-year sentence for first degree robbery. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Scott, how old are you?
69.
69 years old. How many years have you been incarcerated on this 40-year sentence?
20, sir.
And do you have a GED or high school diploma?
Yes, sir. I have a high school diploma. Yes, sir. It's indicated on my
Tell me where'd you graduate high school from?
Marion Abramson in New Orleans on Reed Road.
Okay. What year?
1974.
When's your last disciplinary write-up?
When I last had a write-up?
Yes, sir.
2020 November. I mean 2020 December, sir. I'm sorry. 2020 December.
For what?
Intoxication, and I think it was a Rule 3.
Okay. What you drinking, you smoking? What were you intoxicated with?
Smoking, sir. Smoking.
Mojo?
Yes, sir.
And so you also had a couple more in 20 as well.
Yes, sir. That was my last one. I thought you were speaking about my last write-up.
Okay, yeah, no, that's okay.
Yes,
Yeah. Some fight.
Huh? Yes. Being incarcerated and coming in incarcerated as an elderly man, sometimes you have to make a statement at that time. That was the type of frame of mind I was in. So I got into a few confrontations while incarcerated. The system is something that and then during that time too, it had no hope for me because when I came back to this parole situation was not in place any longer. It was not in law any longer. So it was like just the life I was gonna live. But I thank God that it came back for the parole situation, and I started making changes. And making changes starts from like now, and understanding that situations could be held differently. One is everything is not a fight, everything is not an argument, and the big picture of it too in life, everything is not a killing. So I had to learn these things, and I'm dealing with it. A lot of confrontation now that with these 3 years I have without a write-up, I have learned, and I learned how to walk away and use the different classes that I have, like with Cajun Rage.
What kind of classes have you taken? You taking Cajun Rage?
I take Cajun Rage. Here's right in front of me, right here. I took NAAA on several. I loved it, NAAA. I took Living in Balance. I took Living in Balance to the point where I participated in Living in Balance sincerely and honestly until now. I'm the facilitator of the class. I teach the class now.
So you taking 1 and 2. You took both of them, and now you're a facilitator, right?
Yeah, now I'm the facilitator. I have taken Cajun Rage, nursing. Excuse me, sir.
Have you taken pre-release?
Yes, sir, and I have taken pre-release. It's right here. I have taken pre-release. It's right here, sir. I have taken pre-release right here.
What about thinking for a change?
Well, my supervisor, Mr. Duvall, we have, collaborated on a few issues, and it came up, and somewhere down the line, if the board believe I should have that class before I leave here, I'm quite sure Mr. Duvall would assist me in getting in that class and help me along the way. It was just timing, timing is with the classes. And at that particular time, I couldn't get in the class at that time. But Mr. Duvall has assured me that the board that I need to get this class before I go, he would help me get in it.
And so what, you're in Malachi Dad's too?
Yes, sir, I'm in Malachi Dad. We just completed Malachi Dad last week. We are waiting to get our certificates now. Yes, sir.
All right, so what's your plans if you were to be released early? Where are you gonna go? What you gonna do?
My childhood friend, Kevin Wilkerson, he's gonna allow me to stay at his residence, 6017 Campus Boulevard. I think along the way with living in balance and with NAAA, I would like to on my reentry, if I can, I would if the board see fit that they can send me to a place where that I can get more help concerning drugs, I would accept it. I would go. I understand work now. I understand job. I understand a job more now than being a drug addict. I understand a job. What I mean by that is I understand paying taxes now. I understand how important taxes is.
Right.
I understand how important a job is for an individual my age to make it.
Sure.
And taxes, you just come and stuff. Go ahead, sir. I'll go ahead, sir.
That's good. What my concern is a couple things. My concern is that you're a 6th class offender. You've had a drug and alcohol problem for a long time. You've taken living in balance, and that's good. Have you had any type of long-term substance abuse at all? Any type of long-term treatment?
Yes, sir. I never had any treatment in the free world, no, sir. But I have taken this. I have taken this.
What is it?
NAAA.
Yeah, no, we got that. Yeah, we're aware.
All right. Yes, sir.
Yeah, like I said, so those are concerns of mine. Also, the fact that you've been revoked. You have poor supervision. You've been revoked a lot. You have, you got some. You definitely got some stuff to do. But again, it is still concerning. I know it's been several years, but you have that mojo, and drugs and alcohol are always going to be out there for you. So I'll sit back and listen. Excuse me, and make a decision. Warren, you got any input for us?
Hey, good morning, Mr. Kelly. Not a whole lot. His write-up history was pretty extensive until 2020, and it looks like something changed. He started heading in the right direction. He does have some substance abuse issues, it appears, that hopefully he can get worked on.
Okay. All right, thank you, Warren. All right, we'll hear from yeah, sure. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Scott.
Good morning.
When I was looking at your file,
Yes, ma'am.
in 1989, you pled guilty to 6 counts of armed robbery, and you got a 40-year sentence. You also got 6 months for attacking a courtroom deputy. And
Nope.
then, stop talking. And then
I'm sorry.
in August 18th of 89, you were resentenced to 15 years in hard labor. And on September 6th of 89, you pled guilty to 7 counts of simple robbery and 1 count of simple escape. So in the 90s, when you came to prison in the 90s, how much time did you serve on those robberies from the 90s?
I served 15 years, ma'am.
How much stop talking. How long did you actually stay in prison?
15 years.
And so do you remember when you were paroled?
No, ma'am, I went back, I gave the sentence back and they resentenced me to 15 years. I didn't get out on parole.
I understand that. So you served the full 15 years.
Yes, ma'am, I sure did. Yes, ma'am.
And about what year did you get out of prison?
I got out of prison in 2004 October.
And then in March 30th of 05, after you served 15 years in prison, you commit the crime that you're in prison for right now.
Yes, ma'am. That's right. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And now you've been in there almost 20 years.
Yes, ma'am.
So you've been in prison more than half of your life.
And that's correct, ma'am. It's a crying out loud shame. Yes, ma'am. And it's the truth.
Okay.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. Okay, I am.
So, you know, after having spent 15 years in prison, plus the 20 years you spent on this charge, you only now, since 2020, have started to figure out what you need to do. Why would it take a person that long to have the light come on and understand that you have to live by the rules of the prison and the rules of society? Why did it take you so long?
Is my addiction, if I could have a minute with the board and let the board really see who Ben Scott is, I could answer that question.
I want to show.
I had a serious heroin addiction. My stepfather was not an educated man. He didn't even graduate 6th grade. And I hate this because this is a very curious.
When you served at 15, you had the heroin problem, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's why I'm coming to prison. Yes, ma'am.
Stop talking. And then when you got out of prison, instead of going to get some help for your heroin problem, you went right back to using and committing robberies. Why didn't you ever try to do anything on the street to help yourself?
Because when I discharged, I didn't have no situation where that my mind was in the area of like leaving drugs alone. My circumstances that I was trying to explain didn't leave.
Right. But why would I believe that your mind is in any different place now?
Because if the record then does not show what the record show today. The record show that I have participated in these type of classes. The record show that I have participated in drug help programs for NAAA, Living in Balance. The record showed that during those times that I never went no situation with no.
But the record also shows you got a write-up for Mojo.
Yes, ma'am, and I have changed all that. The record also shows I haven't had a write-up in 3 years now. I never had those type of situations before with my incarceration. I'm 69 years old. I'll figure somewhere down the line, an individual person seeks change. For one thing, also, ma'am, I'm afraid to die in prison. I haven't done any living. At all, as you said yourself. Matter of fact, I just spent 42 years in prison. When do you throw it up? When do you say enough is enough? That's where I'm at in my life. I'm quite sure each and every individual in life has come to that part where they say enough is enough. Enough is enough for me. I'm at that point now. Enough is enough. Look, the whole head is white.
See,
I haven't did any living.
Stop talking. Well, I'm glad you've reached that point. I really am, because that's the first step. But I need to hear what a concrete plan is. If you're released, what are you gonna do? Because you're gonna still have those same urges, those same, even though you right now feel like enough is enough. Tell me what your plan is to make sure you don't fall back into what you've always done for the last 42 years.
I am going to, I'm a veteran. I'm quite sure that the Veterans Administration for Veterans have some type of drug programs out there, where it's in-house or out-house. I don't mind. I know I have a serious heroin addiction, and I want to do something about it. Just like I spoke to the gentleman right here, I explained to him, if the board thinks that I need to go into any kind of program, I'm willing to hug it. I'm willing to kiss it. I'm willing to embrace it with all my heart. I want to change. It's time to change. So whatever is available for me on my own, I'm going to get it. I love NAAA. It's stories that was told that would make you think that your story is something else. It make you want to cry to hear other stories, to see how serious an addiction is. Also, too, during those programs like that, is people that you meet become very important in your life, that you can pick up the phone. Oh, excuse me, Miss Bonnie Jackson, I need you. I need to talk to you. I mean, it's serious. I'm almost at the breaking point. Those are the people I need to be around. Those are the people I want to be around. I don't want to be around street life any longer.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
From Mr. Darrell Miles now. Make a brief statement, please.
Darrell Miles, First 72 Plus. We are ready to receive Mr. Scott into our program. Our program has exactly what Mr. Scott needs. We teach a 9 steps to staying free program, where substance abuse is our main goal in reaching people like Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott also said that he was a veteran. And being a veteran, we have a partnership with Veterans Empowerment Service. That organization is geared toward helping veterans who are ex-drug offenders. Mr. Scott has already admitted that he has a drug problem. And so our program not only is partnershiping with Veterans Empowerment Service, but we have a 24-hour hotline where guys can call in at that point where they need counseling, where they need people to reach out to them. We would actually go get them and sit down with them. Not only that, but we have other services that we can provide for Mr. Scott. We have a long-term housing program and a long-term job search program that he would be beneficial to those benefits. And should the board grant his parole today, we will work with him 100% to ensure that he won't be back before you people again. So we thank you so much for considering giving Mr. Scott an opportunity at release. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, we're here for Mr. Randy Meyer now.
Good morning, Randy Meyer, Assistant DA in Jefferson Parish. I remain opposed to Mr. Scott's request for parole. I think his criminal record and his DOC record shows that he's not ready yet. I think a light might have started flickering in his head that he's seeing what he needs to do and taking some steps, but I think he needs to show us that the light's on, not just flickering. If you look at his risk assessment, it says it's low, but it also, low. It also says it's high for substance abuse, mental health, employment, total needs, and dynamic risks. His disciplinary report, 40. He's had 8 in 2023 of those were for intoxication. one for fighting. And every year he's been incarcerated, except 09 and 10, he's had disciplinary reports until the recent years, which is, I think, when that light started flickering. And, from 21 to 23, I think is the longest time that he's been incarcerated that he has not had a disciplinary report. And I think he needs to show that he's going to continue in that he's not going to be a discipline problem. He's going to continue with programming and show that he, when he becomes ready to get out. Mr. Scott said a couple of times that I'll do what the board wants me to do to get out. If the board wants me to take substance abuse, I'll take it. He needs to want to take it. It's not what the board wants, it's what he needs in order to stay out of jail. So until he gets additional programs and he shows that goes a much longer period without disciplinary reports, we'll remain opposed to his request.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Scott, you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Yes, sir, I sure would.
Take a brief statement.
Yes, sir. I have gotten older. I have gotten a lot more wiser. I think that given an opportunity, that I wouldn't let myself down. I want to be a responsible man. I need to be a responsible man for myself, as well as my family, as well as other families. Like this lady. This lady was a cashier, a woman, and I traumatized her. If I had a wife in that same situation, I would be upset. So I would like to shake the hand of the man, of the husband, as well as seeing the children. The district attorney making statements, and here it is. I filed my last ineffective assistant counsel on a sentencing claim. This is what the judge said. This is what the judge said to me in the ruling. The judge said, although the petitioner is not entitled to relief, the code commands him for his grace strives in self-improvement and rehabilitation while incarcerated. Why nobody else can't see that? I'm 69 years old. I don't want to die in prison. I need an opportunity to prove to myself I can make it. I can make it. Don't take the past and crucify me for my future. Please allow me a future. Mr. Miles said they have an intensive program, a long-term housing program. Please give this poor man, old man, a chance to live.
Right.
I haven't had, give me a chance, please, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Pound fair to vote. I'm gonna vote first. Well, you're fiery, you upset, but you have done a lot of work in the last couple of years. You've done better, like I said, I am concerned about the fact that you're sixth-class offender. You've had poor supervision. You've constantly been in and out of the system. You're right. You're headed in the right direction. You're 70 years old. And although don't feel terribly 100% comfortable with it, I'm going to give you a shot on my end. I think you need long-term substance abuse. I think you need to go to Steve Hall's intensive substance abuse program for 9 months. So my vote would be to grant your parole after successful completion of substance abuse, long-term substance abuse program. After that, you'll have to have a curfew from 9 p. to 6 a. You'll have to attend NAA 3 times a week.
Yes, sir.
You'll get with the first 72, and you'll have random drug screens. I'm just one vote. I'm just, listen, I hear you. There's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of angst. You are upset. You're 70 years old. This is your last shot, man. This is it.
Oh, that's right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right.
Good. Yeah, this is mine. Go to Steve Hall. Try to get better. Do what you can do. Try to stay out. That's just my vote. One vote. All right, Mr. Jackson.
All right. Ms. Scott, I'm 69 too.
Yes, ma'am.
So there's still a lot of life, hopefully, after 69. You squandered most of your life, but I'm gonna go along with Mr. Kelsey and give you the opportunity to get long-term substance abuse treatment while you're incarcerated. And so my vote is to grant your parole after completion of the Steve Hoyle substance abuse treatment program with the same conditions as outlined by Mr. Kelsey.
All right,
Thank you.
Ms. Renata,
Mr. Scott, I've listened very carefully today and I hear what you're saying. I am disappointed in your record. I would have hoped that, you know, as Mr. Meyer said, the light's starting to flicker. And I wish it would have started flickering so it'd be shining bright right now. But I do think that you now have the desire. So I will agree with my colleagues. My vote is the same for the same reasons, with the same special conditions. Good luck.
all right, 3 votes.
Thank y'all.
Long-term substance abuse program, you have curfew, 9P to 6A, random drug screens, NAA 3 times a week. And
Thank
you'll
you.
verse 72. You understand the stipulation?
Yes, sir. Thank
All right.
y'all.
3 votes.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
God bless.
Sit on the front rows is your last chance. Good luck
Thank
to
you, sir. God bless. Thank y'all very much. Thank you.